Hello everyone, I am looking forward so much to this video, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So my name's Alfie, as you already know, hopefully, and I am the youngest, fastest growing entrepreneur to build a following from zero pretty much to 50,000 followers within 3 months, along the way gaining millions and millions of views within just a very short 3 month period and attracting the attention of YouTubers with over 500,000 subscribers. Now, that in 3 months, I will put my hands up and say it's pretty impressive. Now, the truth is, time has changed, and that is not what it takes to make money on social media. You know, I used to have to go viral to make money because the markets were different, the niches were different, all of this type of stuff. Now it's luckily for you, it is so simple now. Going viral, getting millions of views is just an extra now, you know, and I do this all the time. But if you want to make real money, I've made a blueprint below telling you exactly what it takes and the systems you'll need to put in place to do so. So I'm going to get straight into it. So without further ado, the first fundamentals are short form content. And without short form content, your system completely doomed. Now, what you need to do is know your ICP before creating any content, right? And the second one is post at least once per day. You want to keep the momentum. You want to build a habit more than anything, because the main thing is, let's say you're doing outreach, people are going to be able to see that you have all this proof on your page of concept, right? So there's many different aspects to why short form content is so important, but if you are directing it towards your ICP, you are going to attract the attention of your ICP. Now, if you are struggling with how to structure your ICP, because I know people who are doing 10k a month plus who still don't have their ICP fully locked in, and that's a problem. And I'll just quickly show you sort of like my ICP, and I've defined it a lot, but there's still a lot, like a long way for me to go on here. And that is info coaches who already have an offer to sell, not niche specific. Now the age is 17 to 31, and they want to look like the top G. All right, doing 10 to 30k a month. I probably need to change that to 15. And the desires, you know, want to look good, want to look like the G, 15, 30k a month, more time for themselves, more authority. Now the struggles, you've got to list out the struggles: a struggle to position themselves as the authority within their niche, blah 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 blah, what to post, when to post, what platforms to use. The goals, 15 to 30k a month. In fact, I'm going to change that. Work less so they can get their time back to do what they actually want to do. Position themselves as an absolute fucking G. Utilize socials as a network platform. Now, if you want, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send over this in. I'm going to send a link in. I'm going to put a link in the description for this, and basically just make a format for you guys, so if you're struggling you can just fill it out really easily and really get to go knee deep with your ICP, because that will be when you can start attracting people. Now for short form content, the fundamentals are really top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, and bottom of funnel content. So I'm going to go through them now, so keep with me. The first and the top is obviously top funnel content, and the purpose of top funnel content is to reach new people, go viral, or get high impressions, attract essentially the right audience, build interest so they enter your funnel to middle to bottom of funnel. Top of funnel equals awareness plus attention plus curiosity. Now, this is an example. These are all examples of top of funnel content. This is all content which gets eyeballs on me, all high quality, all resonating with who I am as a person, what I offer, etc. Now, this was back in the day, this was about 2 years ago, but you can see not a video below 100,000 views. So that is what top of funnel content is, getting views in. Now, I want to give you a perspective and make you understand that when someone sees let's say a video that's top of funnel, a high quality, high view video, people are going to be very intrigued, right? And you can say this from your own experience. When you go on social media, you probably, if you see a video that you resonate with, click onto the profile briefly. Now, let's say you land on the profile and you see this, it's not brilliant, right? Profile picture, like what the fuck is going on, quite frankly. It just doesn't look great at all. It's just unprofessional, not very, it's a bit blurry, right? The main points are it's unprofessional. Next, it says 16-year-old entrepreneur, Spark Creatives, my agency. The big things that it's missing are who he helps and sort of how he does it. There's no sort of urgency to go to the next steps, which in this scenario is the website. Now, if you want people to do anything, you have to give them instructions, and this is just really lacking that at the minute. Authority helps. Now, 16-year-old entrepreneur, it gives a little bit more of a different scenario and builds a little bit of trust, credibility, but not enough to give any direction. So you'll get a few people who click on the website, but if you want your click-through rates to increase by 80%, it's going to be having to sort the profile out and the bio specifically. Then Spark Creatives is the art account, and let's say they have the Instagram Spark Creatives and it's good. That's maybe a way they can go because they'll be interested, but ultimately it's not very professional. And then the final thing, the story highlight. Nobody knows what's going on. What does that mean? You could sort of briefly tell it's maybe people that but yeah, there's sort of just nothing to tell us what it's about. So you want to make it clear, but also just have more, because we're in a trust recession at the minute, and it's really important you showcase as much sort of ways to build trust with the audience. But if you were to land on this profile, there's a lot more going on. It looks a lot more intriguing. So the first thing, and yes, it's actually insane, and I'm very autistic about these things, and it's the profile. So there's quite a bit going on. Just a clean sort of profile picture, nothing too major, just not a lot going on. But then you see the background, blue water, blue sky. Now, yes, I've looked into the colours and what each colour sort of represents, and guess what blue represents? Trust. So blue is significant for building trust. We're going to get the actual thing up. Is blue representing blue colour representing trust? Yes, blue colour represents trust. It is widely associated with trust, relatability and stability. So nice, yeah. That's sort of why I do it, and it seems to work. It sticks in people's heads a lot more. So ultimately, when people land on my profile and then maybe they follow me, they see maybe later on in the day or the few days later that I've got a story out, and people do scroll past the stories based on their profiles. So if that's something that sticks in their head, they're going to be a lot more likely to click on mine actually. And that's just something else I wasn't planning on adding to the video. And then here, the bio, we've got built IG, 47,000 followers and 12 million views in just 60 days, as I showed you up here. Now, I then go on to say, I help creators sell info with trust-driven systems that convert. Latest YouTube video. Now, this is what I want you guys to follow when creating a good, built, structured bio. And that's first having an authority line. That could be, let's say if you're a coach, for example, a fitness coach, just a random example. It could be that you have helped thousands of people transform their lives. That's a good statement to put in there. And then who you help, that is, I help creators sell info. And then what you do, that's where I'm saying with trust-driven systems that convert. Now, maybe what I should do, to be honest, is say if you want to understand what this is, click the link in bio, because I am actually going to be making a few changes and adding a different YouTube link in bio. Now, I'll go onto YouTube now. So the reason why I have a YouTube video in bio is because it makes viewers problem aware, filters low quality viewers out, and pre-sells your authority. Now, I'm going to give you something that I speak about quite a lot, and that's the 7-11-4 rule. And it's essentially where there are 4 platforms, 11 touch points, and 7 hours of content which needs to be consumed before anyone is remotely ready to buy. Now, I'll go on to each one backwards. Platforms, this is your Instagram, this is your TikTok, this is your email, this is your X, other platforms you can think of, therefore different platforms. 11 touch points, this could be when you make a tweet on X and your ICP sees it, you make another tweet, they see it, that's 2 touch points. They see an Instagram video of yours, they see an ad of yours, they see something else, right? And that is the next thing. And then the hours is how much content needs to be consumed. Now, this is why we ultimately bring people over to YouTube. Not only is it another platform to make it 2 platforms, not only is it another touch point, but people are watching maybe 40-minute long videos. So if you compare 40 minutes and a absolute maximum on Instagram 3-minute video, how are you going to get to that 7 hours? Which way are you going to get there faster, the 40-minute long video or the 3 minutes? Like, it doesn't matter how much content you have, nobody's consuming 7 hours of content on short form Instagram at one go. But this, people are watching raw videos for 40 minutes long, which builds a deep level of trust the audience has for you, and ultimately trust over time turns into authority, and that's what it takes, the 7-11-4 rule, to build that authority and have you be able to sell to the people so much easier. Now, I'll go into YouTube a lot, like in a lot more detail over here, but for now we're going to leave it pretty much like that. Now, I will just add the VSL part. You want to have, as the link in bio, a YouTube VSL, and this is just your VSL which you'd have on a random VSL website, just attached on YouTube, for a few reasons. You can have more videos for people to watch underneath, you can have stuff in the description for people to click on, and ultimately when people go onto YouTube, they see other videos, there's tons of social proof, it just builds the trust even more. Now, going to the story highlights have such an important role, and it is to just give them something else to do, the viewer, if they've gone through everything here. And I'll go over the start here in a second. Client results, just showcasing as much proof that you have, so then people are aware that you can solve the problems if they're not fully aware of it yet, but it's just opening their eyes so they are aware that you can and have done things for other people. Now, the reason why we want to showcase so much is because we're in a trust recession, as I briefly already said, and that is just due to everyone doing the same thing. So we need to stand out a bit and give as much as we can to make them sort of trust us a lot more, and YouTube will come into that building trust. Then we have YouTube. For me, it's really important because the niche is quite saturated, which I'm in. Not saturated, but it's a busy market, and you need to be able to resonate with the viewers enough. So let's say I have a video which just lands really well with someone. They're going to be interested, they're going to click on the video and watch it. Then they're going to go into the sequence of watching all my YouTube videos. getting to that 7-Eleven rule, 7-Eleven 4 rule a lot faster. Then we have life, because ultimately we want to have a personal touch to it. Life also is one of the fastest way to build authority, because if you have something others want, they're gonna build a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, and ultimately that turns into something where they want to learn from you, they want to trust you, and they're going to see you as an authority figure. And then I actually don't have these on my account, but if you have like ridiculous amounts of screenshots of proof testimonials, it's just good to add. It's extra proof. You can never have enough, honestly. Going on to the start here, the job of a start here is psychologically to make people feel invested and sort of understand more about you. The whole point of all this is to build rapport on you. Now, once this loads, I'll just have a drink. So, this is just an example. This isn't me, this is one of my friends. And it just goes through and just builds sort of rapport and builds a problem in the heads, and it gives a solution at the end. It gives a next step. So that's what it is. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but yeah. And then middle of funnel content, I've got here a bit. So the recommended middle of funnel content ratio is 40% value education, 30% case studies, 20% objection handling, and 10% personal brand connection. Now, this is how it should look for the whole thing. Let's say you're posting 7 videos a day, 7 videos a week. You want to be posting. All I know, oh, bloody hell, I'm terrible at maths. I'm going to be quitting school. So, you want to be posting 1 bottom of funnel video a week. I think it's 3, is it? 2 or 3 middle of funnel videos a week, and the rest just top of funnel, getting the views in. So this is really, really important. This is the most balanced and safest ratio for growth plus conversions. Here we go. And then the weekly breakdown. Oh, here we go. I have it. Forgot about this. 4 top of funnel videos, 2 middle of funnel, and 1 bottom of funnel video every single week. Now, the job of middle funnel content really is, once you have got the attention, you've got the views in, it's to build that problem and make the viewer realize they have a problem, and you can be the solution to that problem. And it's just about showcasing tons and tons of sort of results. So again, just going down the route of giving tons of proof and showcasing it all around your profile. Then we have bottom of funnel content, and these are a few different types of content you want to be posting. Now, this is direct CTA videos, just literally going in and just saying X, and having a call to action at the end. Offer breakdowns, and then case study plus CTAs, social proof, testimonials, objection destroyers. Now, objection destroyers, this is where you maybe there's a common saying in the niche. Let's say you need millions of views on a video. You could go in and create a video basically saying you don't need millions of views to make X amount of money. All you need is B. Just something random like that. And then this is mainly you want to be jumping on live calls with your client, and basically just getting their perspective on how working with you has been so far. Case studies, CTAs, very sort of simple. It's again the sort of similar to this, just making it sort of having a unique perspective. So with social proof and testimonials, you could sort of make a video basically saying this is just giving some value, and then showing the testimonials. This is how I taught my client, blah 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 blah, and everything that I learned, and then giving the testimonial within it. Offer breakdown content is basically where you're just showcasing what it is you do, who you help, what you sell, all of these things. And the way you sort of position it is, this is how I do X, and this is what I do, blah 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 blah, that type of thing. Just making it very clear and understand, let them understand that you have a solution to their problem. direct CTA videos sort of just said it. It's very sort of similar, just different sort of perspectives for each of them. Bottom of funnel content, and then we go to ManyChat automations. But before we go to that, in fact, I'll do one of them. Lead magnets. In fact, we'll do both of them, and then we'll go into YouTube. The bottom of funnel content. So you don't want to be doing CTAs for all of your videos. So you want to use this feature where on Instagram you can watch the next video. So with top of funnel content, you want to be attracting people to go watch another video, and that being a middle of funnel content video, and then eventually the middle of funnel content video going to a bottom of funnel video. And then you don't want to have another watcher, you just want to have a CTA at the end of the video and in the description, basically either saying it's a lead magnet or DM me for more information. So with the lead magnet, you just want it super simple. I've actually just taken this from Charlie Morgan, but this is sort of just a Google Doc, and it has a quick little call to action. It shows what it's about, giving a bit of value, how you need to just copy it, and it's yours for free. And then just all these different bits that you can take and use for yourself, no questions asked. So that's just how simple you want to make the lead magnet. You don't want to overcomplicate it, get them going to all these different sort of places. Just keep it as straightforward as possible, because it's going to make people resonate the most and understand. Now, I'm having a bit of trouble with ManyChat at the minute for my own account, so I've had to just go off the top of my head and do what is right, and just write it out here. So yes, let's just get into this little ManyChat sequence which you can steal. They engage, so this is where they might like one of your videos, this is where they might follow you, this is where they comment, in this case, on the video with the sequence, and then you're going to wait 3 minutes and then continue by sending this message. What's up, name? I have the lead magnet name ready. Did you say you wanted it? Just making a question out of it, and once they say yes, you wait till they respond, and then you say awesome, let me know if you get how you get on, and then you send the link below to the lead magnet. Then you wait 24 hours, and then you continue by saying how's it going, basically just following up, and then you can put man or their name. Did you get the chance to go through it yet or no? And then if they say no, send another message in 3 days, just carrying on, making sure they see it. And then if they say yes, you could say something like, that's sick, bro, or the name, proud of you. Let me know if there's anything which doesn't make sense. Then you could put, but while you're here, actually, I'm curious, what do you do? Just making a question out of it. And this is what you can set the ManyChat to do. You don't have to do this yet. You just come in to do this bit, which I'll go over in a second. So with the DMs, if they engage whatsoever, I do just need to change that. I must not change it. Once they comment on a video with a keyword, alright, so just understand the difference. So let's say they engage, they either like one of your videos, they comment on one of your videos randomly, not with a sequence, or they follow you, they just do something on your page. You wait 3 minutes and then continue by saying something like, yo, I'm on IG too much now, low. Just getting away the fact that it could be a ManyChat automation. And then you say, guess I got this at the right time. You don't say anything more, right? You just want to let them ask the question or speak to you saying, haha, all good. And then you can go in and just straight away wait for the response and then send voice messages, because this will be a pattern interrupt and make them a lot more likely to actually press on your unread message and listen to it, because people are used to being able to read the messages, and not only that, you'll be able to see what's been sent, and if they don't want to listen and read it, they're not going to open it. So this is going to be the best chances to your getting skyrocketing the open rates on your messages. So send voice messages, good for pattern interrupt because people are used to just reading messages. Now the job is to make them come to you, not the other way round. So when you're sending voice messages, you don't want to be pitching them. You want them to be interested in what your services are, and the way you do this is by finding out about them. You want to dig deep and ask the right questions to get into the pain points, and naturally they will start to ask you what you do, and you can say indirectly sort of what you do, but also adding in their pain points, so then they sort of resonate with your offer, and ultimately you're going to build that interest up, and you're going to be so much more, it's going to be so much easier to book them on a call. Now if you're at a point where you're trying to scale, this isn't going to be the best use of your time, because client fulfillment is going to be the most important things. So you'd want to hire a DM setter for that. So let me know and I can try help you out with that, because I've got quite a few in my network who would be happy to do so. But yeah, so going back to this, once they do that, that's just where you come in again. Just go from a slightly different perspective, wait till they respond, and then go from here with that. So it's all sort of related into one. Very, very interesting, to be fair. I really enjoy doing ManyChat automations. Onto YouTube. So YouTube strategy. It's the exact same as Instagram. All right. You've got the videos that get the views in, you've got the ones that build rapport and find out that they've got a problem, and then bottom of funnel converting that and turning them into a client. So the only difference is you can have vlogs also, because this builds trust also, but also brings in the views. And then the middle of funnel content, just the exact same. All right, exact same here. And then bottom of funnel, the only difference is you can have a VSL. Now this goes back to this bit, the VSL. Now what you want to make sure you've got clear in your videos, you've got a good intriguing title, because if you do so, it's going to attract people, because you've got to imagine YouTube is the SEO platform. People are searching for these problems or these type of things. So how I'd fix a 5-figure trader to 106k a month. There's quite a few different aspects to this, so it's just intriguing and people would click on it out of curiosity. So there's that, which does really well and performs really well. Now in the description, it's really important you get this right. You don't want it overcomplicated, you just want it very, very simple. And that is a Calendly link to book a call with you, your Instagram, going back to Instagram, because then they will most likely follow you, and once they follow you, you can get this ManyChat automation triggered and turn them into a lead that way. Now the final one is the YouTube VSL. You can link that in the description, and people can go from, let's say, top or middle of funnel straight to the VSL, which is this, right? And this is just going to be handling objections, building more trust, and giving them really good next steps. And all you'd want to have in the description there is the Calendly and also the Instagram, because they're going to be more likely to go back to Instagram. You just want to make the descriptions enticing enough to make people want to message you or follow you on Instagram. Now, there's not a lot with YouTube. It's a very sort of middleman situation in my funnel and what I do for my clients. It's honestly, without it, it would never work, the whole funnel. But this, it's so important you get it right. Simple, but really, really important you get right. Now at the end of the videos, you want to be adding more videos to watch, and this will just give them more social proof of what you have to offer, more proof of concept for yourself. So really, really, really important you get this right. But yeah, guys, that is the end. Hopefully you have found that useful and you can take something away from it. If you guys like this and you enjoyed this, you got some value from this, and you can take some stuff away and use it for your own business, your own system, please comment and I'll make sure to make more in-depth YouTube videos like this. Now, if you are in the info space and you're currently selling something but struggling to scale, just look at the description. You can book a call with me, no pressure, nothing. I'm just here to try help you and put you in the right direction if you do decide to book a call. I don't guarantee that I work with everyone because, quite frankly, I don't. I'm very selective, and if I see potential, I'll say. But yeah, I'd just be more than happy to get on a call, give you tons of value, and we can really go from there, guys. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you do find this useful, make sure again to comment and subscribe. Take care.